Say this affirmation with me. Then does not have to be now. And always remember that the healed you is the best you. And if you ain't healed, then you ain't at your best. Family, what is going on? I am your inspirational coach, the one and only Antoine G. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode and segment of the Better You campaign's TED Talk. Be sure to check out all of our social media platforms that are incorporated in the description if you've missed any of this series that we've been in on self-worth. Also, for you to stay in the loop of what all we have upcoming in the upcoming series and everything that we have going on here at the Better You campaign. Do me a favor. I want you to like, I want you to comment, share, subscribe with your friends, your family, your people, anybody that's around you that you know can benefit from what we are talking about and what we're doing here at the Better You campaign, because indeed sharing is caring. Listen, for those of you that are just now tuning in, this is such a bittersweet segment because it is the finale of our series on self-worth. Listen, we've had some amazing and transformative talks right here on the BYC Ted Talk these past few weeks that I believe will cause us to be forever changed and have the courage enough to take the journey to make it to that place called healing. We've defined and we've broken down self-worth. We took it back to our childhood to understand the origin of some of the things that we may or that may dictate our self-worth. And last but not least, we've also got up the courage to confront the things that need to be confronted. Why? Because we ain't scared. Simple. We ain't scared to address it, y'all. At least if you've been on this journey with us by now, you shouldn't be scared. You should have everything that you need, all of the tools and all of the insight, period, right? Listen, you owe it to yourself to be your best self. You owe you. Normally we save our affirmations until the end, but I feel it right now, y'all. Say it with me. I owe me. I can't hear you. Say it louder. I owe me. That's right. That felt good, right? Absolutely. It felt good for me to say it too, because we are changing the narrative one trauma at a time. Listen, Bob Marley has a quote that says, "You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice that you have." That's a drops mic moment right there. I don't know about you, but for some of you, this journey of healing, not just a journey toward healing, because we believe we are being healed as we go, but this journey of healing has introduced you to parts of you may have not even known were present. But like we said in the last segment, resolve is on the other side of your work and your initiative that you take to do what is necessary to deal. You have to deal to heal in order to see the results that are contrary to what has been your norm. This segment, I want to explore the thought of changing the narrative and what that means for us. Because truth be told, some of the discomfort our pain brings us, it's easy to shun it. But what if I told you the only way for you to extract the lesson is by embracing that discomfort? Anytime we go through situations that are less than desirable, if you will, rather than me throwing a fit, having a tantrum, there we go, I should ask myself, what is going to be my key takeaway from this situation that I'm in? This is how we learn to redirect or initiate reverse psychology on the effects of trauma in our lives. Having healthy self-worth is about us embracing what endorses the best version of ourselves. However, sometimes If we're honest, we're challenged to not only embrace all of what's good, but also what doesn't look good at face value. That's a challenge. But still, we have to find where there are nuggets and there are treasures inside of it. For example, growing up without my biological father is a scenario that we know isn't uncommon in our society, especially amongst black males. We see how it contributes to the loss of identity. We see how it contributes even to the loss of affirmation. We see how it contributes to just our overall scope of manhood and life, and the list goes on. However, when I embrace it, what it does is it brings out the best version. I realize that absence of something doesn't always have to mean absence of something. Let that settle in for a moment. In other words, just because this particular person, place, or thing wasn't present doesn't mean that I can't find another blueprint to adjust my gaze upon to help me nurture the parts of me that seem obsolete in a certain season of my life. That's what you call changing the narrative. I acknowledge the reality of my situation, but I realize I have a say in the outcome of my situation. Say this affirmation with me: I choose me. I choose me. Sometimes the reason why we allow trauma and pain to rule and dictate our lives is because we haven't found the value in ourselves to bet on ourselves. This is a byproduct of low self-worth. This is what we've been talking about. I over-criticize myself. I self-loathe. I'm unable to assert myself. I'm eager to please due to feelings of self-consciousness or being self-conscious about myself. I overly apologize to avoid being deserted. These are some of the cause and effects of what it is that we're talking about. The healed you is so crucial to the success of your life overall. Healing even works as what I like to call a restorative aide. It reconstructs areas in your life where you have experienced ruin due to inflicted pain or unresolved trauma. We have a responsibility to take ownership and the authority that ownership provides us, not necessarily for the acts itself that has caused us pain, but over the aftermath that we are left to manage because of pain. Some of you may take action through your faith, but understand that your faith has to also have a work ethic. Have the faith, but then go to therapy. Have the faith, but then journal out your experiences. Have faith and meditate. How do I meditate? By centering myself with yesterday's pains in order to process tomorrow's solutions. Regardless of the route that you take, the goal is to reposition yourself to live the life you were meant to live, even before the trauma occurred. The fact that I take the steps to redress my pain and change the narrative is a testament on how I view my worthiness. Just you taking these steps alone. Pain, loss, voids, hurts all have the tendency to dumb down the level of what it is that you feel. They have a way of dumbing you down to the level of what it is that you feel, which is low. But I want you to say this affirmation with me: I will not live a low vibrational life. I will not live a low vibrational life. If you do not take ownership, if you do not take your power back, what has pained you will end up dictating the way that you live. It'll end up dictating the way that you even pursue your dreams. It'll end up dictating the way that you engage in your relationships. It'll cause you to live mediocre. And ultimately, honestly, y'all, it'll govern the jurisdiction of your own happiness. Where we do that at? But I believe that today is the day that you take your power back. I believe that today is the day that you change the narrative with the understanding that the power of life and death is in your own mouth. The power of life and death concerning your worth is also in your own mouth. And it's listening to what you have to say to it. While you are having faith and doing the work, be sure to give yourself even the room to grow. Listen, it's a process. Patience and discipline are the perfect tools for this journey you're on. Don't sabotage your progress by setting unrealistic expectations for yourself. It's going to hurt. It's going to be uncomfortable. It is a process that you owe yourself. You owe it to yourself to take the chance and to defy the odds of your pain. It's important that you walk the walk out until healing is proven. Although we identify the wounds in order to heal, to deal, it's the roots and the things that have been embedded in us for months and years at a time that have to be unearthed and then readjusted in some cases. Listen, think of the roots in your life as an investment. Sometimes in our journey of healing, we take our power back, and the way that we change the narrative. These are moments where we're given the opportunity to reinvest your roots to places and in people and in things that will complement the version of you that is worthy without reservation. Realize that in all your efforts that you are healing forward. You are healing forward. You are healing forward. You're healing with the understanding that I'm healing to move ahead with resolve. Listen, I leave you with this affirmation. I will heal forward. As we conclude this series on self-worth, it is my absolute hope that your awareness, that your knowledge base, and ultimately your worth has increased by innumerable measure. And that not only has it increased in measure, but you begin to see quick results in the work that you put in. Listen, I'm your inspirational coach, the one and only Antoine G. Thank you for tuning in to the Better You Campaign's TED Talk. Listen, this month, our series on self-worth has been transformative. It's been so great, and just joining you on this path and on this journey. May you be inspired to inspire someone else, and remember that the healed you is the best you. And if you ain't healed, then you are not at your best. With that being said, it's a wrap on this self-worth series, y'all. Stay tuned for what is next, and until next time, happy healing.